Hello all, let's start talking about these markup tools. Before I actually get going in a session, I like to set up my markup tools because I find there are common ones I like to use. So I tend to find that a pink color shows up best. So I might do something like that. Set the pencil color and then I choose the arrow. I like to use the box outline. I find it has more emphasis. I like to make my font bigger because I find the default is small, so I'll usually go to 20 or 22 size font. For the laser pointer, I'll click it, and then yes, as I move around, it just looks like a cross. So what you have to do is click the mouse, and then that's where the laser pointer appears. So something like this slide from part A, I talk about there's an adjust audio there, and then when you're in session, the other adjust audio's up here. But you're likely not seeing where that laser pointer went because it's very tiny. So what I like to do is first go to my arrow, draw it, say there's an adjust audio there. I'm seeing I don't like that width, so I'm going to go back to the pencil and I'm going to change it. So I'll be retentive and I'll clear that. One more time, say, there's an adjust audio. Now I want to move it and show where the secondary location is. So I'm going to go to the selection tool, which is the first markup. Go back to the markup, click and drag on it. I keep dragging, dragging, dragging. And this is how I move things. So that way I'm talking about the video wizard. Still holding down that mouse key and then it's a more continuous motion. So that's one way to get around not having a markup that follows one's cursor. We see something like that in Big Blue Button, but not in Saba. Next one had to do with the full screen. Yes, when you do full screen, the left-hand side hides. It can be a benefit, I think, for the in-room students to see the people online at a distance. It helps them to remember as well that there's other students in the class. If you find that the hiding means that you're missing questions or missing text chats, you can go into Audible Alerts. You go into the settings in the top right, go to session. I already have Audible Alerts, so you check that off, click sounds, and then you can set a sound for a task. So I used hand raised when someone joins a session, when someone sends a chat or a private chat, and when I'm doing instructor training, I also use one for when the recording is paused because sometimes my co-presenters like to click things and pause things. So this is covered in the Part B playback. If you look at that, there's a drop-down index point, I should say a pop-up index point, and the slide is called Settings Audible Alerts. That is fully explained there. But once you set an Audible alert, apply your settings. That means when someone raises their hand, you'll hear a little pling in your ear. You don't hear that because I'm wearing a headset, but that can be really helpful in a variety of ways. So I hope these points cover, and really with the markups, it's just jumping in and finding what you feel is useful. I know some people don't like to use Audible Alerts, but it is an option if you want to keep track of a few different things.